Again, my name is Darren Smith. I'm with the mayor for, my name is Darren Smith with the Mayo for Congress campaign. We are here today to, first of all, thank you for allowing us to be in your presence, and we are here to announce two of our biggest supporters and endorsements today, the Honorable State Representative, Mr. John Bell Edwards, as well as the Honorable State Representative, Mr. Robert Johnson. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. John Bell Edwards. The Honorable State Representative.
I'm John Bell Edwards, State Representative from District 72. I live in Tangipahoa Parish, but I represent St. Helena Parish and a portion of East Feliciana, which, while it's a long way from Alexandria and even a longer way from Monroe, it is in the 5th Congressional District. I am here today to proudly endorse Jamie Mayo, the Monroe Mayor for Congress in the 5th Congressional District. And I'm just going to ask the people in the district to objectively look at the candidates and compare their experience in government. And I know that Jamie has a long and storied career as a city councilman, as a mayor of Monroe, and has done a wonderful job making government work to afford more opportunity, a better life for the people of Monroe. And that's something that he can bring to Washington, because I know in Monroe he accepted the city government when it had a record deficit. Today it's got a record surplus of $14 million. And he also has brought a lot of infrastructure improvements to Monroe, especially the airport, but also he's recruited businesses. He's got the headquarters of the largest corporation that's actually headquartered in Louisiana there in Monroe with CenturyLink. And he's accomplished these things by working across the aisle with Republicans and independents and Democrats alike, works with the African American population as well as the white population. And so I just think it's something that we need in Washington, because it is so dysfunctional and the gridlock has paralyzed Washington to the point where nothing gets done. And so we need a leader in Washington who can compromise and find consensus on the big issues of the day. And I know that of all the candidates running for Congress in the 5th District, Jamie Mayo is the one who has the experience doing that. That's why I'm here today, to proudly endorse him and offer him my support and wish him the very best of luck. Jamie, good job.
Good afternoon. I'm State Representative Robert Johnson. It's a privilege for me to be here today and to endorse my friend Jamie Mayo. It's been said that if you want to know who your friends are, run for political office and you'll find out. I did that over a year ago, and I must tell you, I made a lot of friends. But one new friend happened to be an individual who ran against me, and I'm proud again to stand here today with my friend, Mayor Mayo. You see, the kind of person Jamie is a man who can run against another man for political office and yet emerge from that election as a friend. When they say that the political arena lacks gentlemen, they haven't met Jamie Mayo. Jamie Mayo proves them wrong. But I'm not here just because Jamie's my friend or because he's a gentleman. Jamie is one of Louisiana's and America's finest leaders. As the mayor of Monroe, Jamie grew the Monroe economy with new jobs, with industries like CenturyLink and Chase. He's the only candidate in the race who has balanced a governmental budget. When he took over as mayor of Monroe, as Representative John Bell Edwards said, he was facing an enormous deficit. And as the mayor today, he not only balanced that budget, but he balanced it with a $14 million surplus. As a legislator, and as a former candidate for Congress, and most importantly as a citizen of the 5th Congressional District, I've traveled the parishes of this district, and I've seen firsthand what Bobby Jindal's policies of privatization have done to our prisons, our Office of Group Benefits, our charity hospitals, and our Louisiana families. I've seen what the devastating cuts have done to our colleges and what the higher tuition costs have done to our families who are struggling and trying to educate their children. When asked in a public forum if Jamie Mayo would support Bobby Jindal bringing those policies to Washington as president, he was one of the only candidates who resoundingly said no. So like you who live in the 5th District, if you are tired of low-paying minimum wage jobs, lack of employment opportunities, politicians who play politics with your hard-earned tax dollars, federal deficits, cuts to your health care, bad schools, unsafe roads, and Bobby Jindal's failed policies, then you should vote for Jamie Mayo. So on Election Day, when you go into the voting booth to cast your vote, I ask you to think about your family, I ask you to think about yourself, and I ask you to think about America's future. I ask you not to vote for a candidate for their party affiliation or for the color of their skin, but look at the record of the candidate and at their heart. And when you do that, you will see that Jamie Mayo's record shows his leadership skills of working across party lines, skills that created jobs, skills that balanced budgets. When you look at his heart, you will see the heart that he gave to God at his baptism at Mount Calvary Baptist Church over 49 years ago. The heart that loves his wife, Angela, whom he's been married to for 32 years. And the heart that loves his children, Jared and Ashley, and his little grandson, Tyler. And take it from me, when Jamie goes to Washington, he will bring and take his leadership skills with him and his values. Although there's never been anyone quite like Jamie Mayo to serve us as congressman in the 5th Congressional District, I think that when you look at his record and his heart, it's about time there was. And with that being said, I formally endorse you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Well, what can you say other than thank you so very much? I thank these two outstanding leaders, state legislators, who have stepped up to the plate and stepped out to endorse me, and I don't take it for granted. Representative John Bell Edwards and also Representative Robert Johnson, they have been truly committed and determined to leading our state in the right way for not only their particular districts, but also for the entire state of Louisiana. And they're very well known not only in their particular areas, but also throughout the state, not just on a state level, but also on a local level as well. And I'm sure you'll hear more from them in the future. I also want to thank these outstanding leaders who are standing behind me, some of which have endorsed me on, I believe it was July the 9th, when I made my official announcement with my wife standing here and my grandchild running all around here. They were here, so I want to thank them as well. City council members, mayors, business leaders, and there were pastors here and people from throughout the community that stepped up. A diverse group stepping up. We've had during this campaign to endorse me not only Democrats, as these fine young men and gentlemen are, but also Republicans and as well as independents. And it shows that we're willing to work across the aisle to work with, regardless of what party or race that you may be, to bring millions of dollars to the 5th Congressional District. There's no question, we've talked a lot about this, that we have a lot of assets in the 5th Congressional District, and Tangipahoa Parish, and Avoyelles Parish, and Rapides Parish, and Grant, I can go on, and Morehouse and Ouachita, but we also have a lot of challenges as well. And I'm willing to step up and step out to do everything that I possibly can to lead the effort on a federal level to bring millions of dollars of projects to the 5th Congressional District, because that's what it's all about, bringing projects here and making a significant difference. And so, gentlemen, thank you so very much, and council members that are here and those that aspire to be an elected officer that are here, we appreciate you as well. We thank the media for coming as well. And our campaign is it has tremendous momentum. We've been working so hard, don't know what the day is, other than there's a couple of days left to early voting, but and that's very important. We understand that there's a tremendous amount of effort from the citizenry that's going out to vote. We appreciate that, but you do have a day and a half, a little less than a day and a half to get out. And of course, we're marching towards November 4th to get it done, to take care of business. That's what it's all about. Okay. All right. So educators, I mentioned educators that are here as well. Did I miss anybody? I want to make sure. Senior citizens that are here. That just shows you how diverse this campaign is. And also I want to mention one other thing. Senator Ben Nevers, who represents Bogalusa in that area in Washington Parish, I talked to him earlier. He could not be here, but he has thrown his public support to our campaign as well. Senator Ben Nevers, who is also an outstanding legislator here in the state of Louisiana representing Washington Parish. So we appreciate him as well. We had, I want to mention this too, a U.S. Congressman Jim Clyburn from South Carolina came down last week and publicly endorsed me, and we really appreciate that. And also the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Kasim Reed, came down on Friday to publicly endorse me as well. So we're marching on. We're marching on to victory. So thank y'all so very much.
For Congress, and with me I have the Honorable State Representative Mr. Robert Johnson. Mr. Johnson, tell us why you're here today and what it means.
Well, today we're here to endorse my very special friend, Mayor Jamie Mayo. You know, typically when you run for political office, you make a lot of new friends, and it's strange to make a friend out of somebody who was a former opponent, but Jamie's just that kind of guy. He's a guy who can emerge from a political election process and end up being friends with the candidates who were in there. And you know, when he decided to run in this race, I certainly wanted to stand by him and give him my endorsement and help him any way I can, because I think Jamie is going to do an excellent job for us in the 5th Congressional District, no doubt about it.
Now, you've seen his opponents. What is the major difference, obviously, besides the parties that the mayor would bring to this district versus those that he's running against?
Well, I think there's two important things that I think that when you make a decision to vote for somebody that you should look at. Number one, record. And when you look at Jamie Mayo's record as the mayor of Monroe, you see that he's balanced budgets. He's taken a deficit and turned it into a $14 million surplus. And I think that record shows immense leadership skills of working across party lines to accomplish the goals to ultimately make Monroe a better place to live. And I think he will bring those leadership skills to the 5th Congressional District. Second thing I think that's important to look at in a candidate is their heart. And you know, when you look at Jamie Mayo's heart, you see that's the heart that he gave to God when he was baptized over 40-something years ago. It's the same heart that he gave to his wife when he committed to her, and they've been married for a tremendous long time. It's the same heart that he gave to his children and shows his love as a father and even as a grandfather to his new little grandson, Tyler. And I think when you look at that, you see that Jamie Mayo is the type of person that when he goes to Washington, D.C., he's going to take those leadership skills from his record with him and his values.
Now, last year, the two of you all were in the race. I know he placed third, you placed fifth. What kind of difference have you seen with him as the candidate between last year and this year that makes him better this time around?
You know, Jamie's a pretty much standard guy. He's a great guy. What you see is what you get with Jamie. You get to know him. He's not a boisterous type individual. He's not a person who's full of himself. He's a very humble man. You know, when he gives his speech, you can tell he's from humble beginnings. He said he grew up very poor. But he's the type of person who works to get things done. He's not just talk. Jamie's a doer, and I think that's what we need in a congressman.
Well, Mr. Johnson, we thank you for your time, and we thank you for your endorsement today with the campaign.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congress campaign, and with me I have the Honorable State Representative Mr. John Bell Edwards, who's also the Democratic candidate for the state of Louisiana for governor. Mr. Edwards, first of all, I'd like to ask your purpose in being here today, and also what it means to the campaign.
Well, first of all, I'm a state representative from Monroe Parish, but I also represent St. Helena Parish and part of East Feliciana, which is a long way from Alexandria and Monroe, but it is in the 5th Congressional District. And I'm up in Alexandria today to join Mayor Jamie Mayo and let people know that I do endorse his candidacy for Congress to represent us in the 5th Congressional District. So I'm very happy to be here. to endorse Jamie today, and hopefully people are going to get out and vote for Jamie, and he'll be our next congressman in Washington representing this very diverse, very rural, very poor district.
Now, you're a political student, so in your opinion, what are some of the major differences, obviously besides the parties, between Jamie and his opponents in this race?
Well, I just want people to look at this race objectively and compare and contrast the candidates, and when they do that, they'll come to the same conclusion that I have, and that is that Jamie Mayo, as city councilman and as mayor in Monroe, has a proven record of serving people effectively, making government work to expand opportunity, to create real opportunities for people to have a better life, to live the American dream, and he's done it in a very fiscally responsible way. Somebody who in his 12 years as mayor inherited a record deficit, has turned it into a record surplus, $14 million. He's expanded the infrastructure in Monroe, especially with respect to the new airport. He's recruited businesses. In fact, they have the headquarters of the largest corporate presence in the state of Louisiana with CenturyLink right there. And he's done it by working across the aisle, working with everybody, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, blacks, or whites, whatever. And that's what we're missing we're missing in Baton Rouge too, to some extent. But that's what we're missing in Washington. And so I'm excited to endorse Jamie. Hopefully the people will look at him and understand that he represents the best hope that we have for having effective representation, so that we can actually break the dysfunction, break the logjam in Washington, start getting some things done, reach consensus and compromise on our biggest issues.
Well, Mr. Edwards, we thank you for your time and thank you for your endorsement for the campaign today.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
With the Mayor for Congress campaign, and I'm with my honored candidate, the Honorable Mayor of Monroe, Mr. Jamie Mayo. Mr. Mayor, we are down here in Alexandria today, and I've spoken with John Bell Edwards and Robert Johnson, the two representatives for in your district. Tell us what their endorsement means to you.
First of all, I'm very excited about their endorsement. Representative Johnson and Representative John Bell Edwards, they're tremendous leaders in our state. Representative Johnson represents the Voyles Parish area, and also Representative John Bell Edwards represents the Tangipahoa area, and both of them are outstanding leaders in our community, and I'm just so proud that they've decided to endorse me. Representative Johnson and I were also running in this election on last year, but he decided not to run this time, and he's endorsing me, and I'm very pleased with that.
Now, campaign-wise, how does that strengthen, your momentum and things that you have going on as we lead to election day?
Well, we have a tremendous amount of momentum that's going on. We've gotten elected officials throughout the 24 parishes. We also have business leaders. We also have, in addition to Democrats, we have some Republicans and also some independents. So that's huge. And so as we go forward to November the 4th, it's very, very fitting to have as many endorsements as we possibly can. When you consider them along with national figures like Mayor Kasim Reed from Atlanta, the mayor of Atlanta, and also U.S. Congressman James Clyburn from South Carolina, that's huge. To be able to come down to Monroe, Louisiana, and then to endorse me wholeheartedly. So we're very, very pleased with that, and to be here in Alexandria, which is in Rapides Parish, which is the second largest parish in the 5th Congressional District. So we're very, very thankful, and we're very excited about it, and we certainly look forward to some more momentum building efforts and endorsements.
Now, of course, you've gotten the endorsement as well as endorsed Senator Mary Landrieu as well. With that endorsement leading between now and next Tuesday, what, in your opinion, do you think it will take to pull it out?
Well, U.S. Senator Mary Landrieu has been huge for our state, and she's worked very hard, both North Louisiana, Central Louisiana, as well as the southern part of our state. And of course, she has the experience. She also has the leadership skills. She's done a great job for our state. And so, quite frankly, there shouldn't even be any comparison with the two, because she's done so much. And so I think the fact that she and I both have endorsed each other, we've already worked together, and we've done some major things for the community, for Monroe, Louisiana. And so I think that adds to the momentum that we're receiving. So we're just pleased to have her on board, and I know she's pleased to have us on board as well.
Now, Election Day is November 4th. Have you already voted?
I have already voted. In fact, my wife and my daughter and I voted on today, and my son will be voting probably tomorrow. So I voted for myself, and I also voted for Senator Landrieu. And so I ran into so many individuals that's out there voting. So I think we're going to have a good turnout. So we look forward to November the 4th.
All right, well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and of course, good luck, and I predict victory for us one way or another.
Well, we definitely pray for victory, and we're really pleased with the support that we're being given at this particular time.
Thank you very much.